Here's a quick video to help with adding and subtracting integers. We're going to be looking at zero pairs and how using tiles and that can help us understand the concept a little better. The first thing that we need to take care of is that what zero pairs actually means. Zero pair is by definition a pair of numbers that their sum is zero. Okay, so when they're put together, that positive and that negative, they have the same value and they equal zero. Okay, so they have no effect on the equation. We do need zero pairs to add and subtract integers. What I want to start you guys to start thinking about is basically making a recipe, making a soup or a witch's brew, anything like that, and you're putting your integer tiles into a soup, and then you're going to be adding zero pairs or subtracting zero pairs to help you out with that equation. For example, if we look at this equation, 5 subtract 8, we need to know where we start and what these values actually are. So what you have to look at first is this first number here. Is this a positive or a negative value? Okay. To figure that out, you need to look to the left of that number. And if there's nothing there, we know that that's a positive number. Okay, so this is now positive 5. So this is where you're going to start. All right, and I'm working at the Argyle Grill, and my boss tells me to make some soup. So he says that my positive numbers, okay, are going to make it colder. Sorry, hotter. My apologies. All right. So I'm going to go with white for now. Okay, and that is going to be my positive, and that's going to make my soup warmer. All right. And I'll go with blue, and that is going to make my soup negative. And colder. Okay, so my positive integer tiles are going to make my soup warmer, and my negative integer tiles are going to make my soup colder. So I'm going to start here with my 5. So it is telling me to put 5 pieces of positive integers into my soup. So I want to make my soup warmer. Okay, so now I'm following the recipe that my boss gave me. I put 5 positive integers into my soup. Okay, so my soup is much, much warmer. All right, that's what I want. But now that I go back, I look and it says to subtract a number. Okay, and now I need to find out what that number it is that they want to subtract. All right, so again, we look at the right beside to the left of that number. If you look right beside to the left of the number, cover up your equation or your operation, which is subtraction here, and there's nothing there again. So we know that that is a positive number. All right, so really we could rewrite this and it would be positive 5 subtract positive 8. All right, so what I could do is come to my soup and get all nervous because my boss is coming to check if the soup is done correctly, and I could take all those 5 out of there. Okay, but the problem is that I need to take 8 positive, hot, warm integers out of there. All right, I don't have 8. So what I do know is that if I add a zero pair, it will not affect my soup in any which way. I can add, it's basically adding hot sauce and an ice cube at the exact same time, and it has no effect on my soup. Okay, it won't get hotter and it won't get colder at any time. All right, so what I need to do is add a couple of zero pairs. So I would add a zero pair here. All right. I can add as many zero pairs as I would like. It has really no effect on the equation. It doesn't change my positive 5 value. Here's my positive 5. Think about it as friends. All these guys are just met up with each other and they're talking. They have no effect on what the soup is doing. Okay, so this one here and this one here are talking. They stay neutral the whole time. All right, same with these two and this one as well. So now I can come back to my soup and I get really excited because I know I started with my positive 5, so my soup's a little hotter. And they want me to take away or subtract my positive 8. All right, so now, before my boss comes back, I can subtract my positive 8. So I have 5, 8, 5 positive integers there. And then I can subtract 3 more positive integers. And I'm left with 3 negative integers. And now my soup is a lot colder. And the recipe is done properly. Okay? Let's try another one. Let's say my starting point is negative 3 minus positive 5. Okay, so again, negative 3 subtract positive 5. We need to find our starting point, and our starting point is this first number here. Okay, so basically what they're telling you is to make your soup colder. All right, so I will make my soup colder by putting 3 negative integers in my soup. Okay, and then I look at my operation. They're asking me to take away 5 positive integers. I do not have that. Okay, I only had 3 negatives. I just can't keep adding negative numbers in there because that will change my value. Okay, but if I don't want to change the temperature of the soup right now, I need to put 0 pairs. All right, so I can put 5 0 pairs. All right, so now my soup is filled with my original 3, my negative 3 number, okay, but I also have all 5 0 pairs, so they have no effect on my soup. If I tasted the soup, it'd be the exact same temperature as it was before when I added the 3 negative numbers in there, all right? But now it's asking me negative 3, which I have started with, subtract positive 5. So at this point, I can now take away my 5 positives. And I'm left with 8. Negative 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So what the recipe is calling for is that I start at negative 3, I subtract positive 5, and it makes my soup even colder than it was. All right, and if I did that the way we reverse the sign, it would be negative 3 plus negative 5. Okay, and we know that we just add those two together and we get negative 8. Okay, so that's how that's doing that. Hopefully this helps a little bit about the recipe. We will go through this in class a little more as the week goes on, but I thought I would give you a little indication of maybe a different type of thinking.